Okay, so we have round 2 for you at tonight's pre-release fight night. Fish, what have we got for ourselves today?
So, one of our newer players, Taylor, Big Love, and Clouters. Coming in with all the new cars as per usual. Can't tell you what decks they got. We're going to catch it on the fly.
I think we may see a full art legend at some point in this game. I'm not.
I don't know.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
The only time we might see that is in Damage Zone if Clouters is anything to go with.
Respect to Clouters, he's a fellow Mono Ice lover, so love to see people like that on the stream. And respect to Taylor, one of our newer players, but still a very strong player. He's picked the game up really quick, both him and Jacob. Great to see. Absolutely thriving in the environment. They've been great additions to the setup here in Cardiff. So yeah, lovely to get them on stream.
And now that we've been nice to them, we can eviscerate them.
Let's go shred their gameplay.
Oh yeah.
So didn't see who won the die roll, so not the best. Love heart from Taylor. I know that's for Fish and not for me. I know where his allegiance
Just get on with it. There we go. We got him laughing.
So mulligan from Cloutman. So double Sephiroth in Taylor's opening hand. I can't see the other cards, but I'm assuming there's some sort of backups because he's thinking about keeping it. Double Sephiroth. He's showing us. He's got triple Seph.
Oh, triple Seph.
He's got to go in the bin.
Mate, I would have kept it. You're mad.
I respect the show as well.
Yeah. That's I done messed up.
Yeah. Well, at least Cloutman knows he's not going to be seeing a Sephiroth anytime soon.
Yeah. Probably not all game. But
I can't see if it's a slightly better hand from Taylor or not, so we'll see what comes down.
Again, we do get into a really bad habit here in the commentator booth about leaning to see if we can see their cards.
Yeah, I know.
On the screen.
But you need to out me like that.
Mate, I was doing the same thing. I was over here with you.
Chat didn't know that we were both leaning to the side trying to look at that.
It makes it fun then. They know what we're looking at, which is nothing.
So Cloutman getting a crystal backup down.
Loves a good dragoon.
For extra flavour, playing the wind crystal.
Taylor
responding with a crystal backup of his own.
That isn't a monk. Don't get me started. I'll have Vietnam flashbacks.
How many times have we heard this? What's the stock phrase you say? Get the small violin out, something like that.
No, I don't know. I don't think I've ever said that.
I think you should get your own violin out and play it. Okay, nice colour fixing. He's gone double backup.
Sisney. That was our card of the week, wasn't it? That was
Yeah. Okay. So getting the Cisne down. Have we got any of the follow-up? So looks like Cloutman on Wind Ice and Taylor on Fire Earth as it stands. I think these players... Oh, we're going in on the Yuri, ditching to pay the discard effect on the Yuri. Assuming this means he's going to be playing the Chalinka.
Yeah, this is a really strong combo in a pre-release here. Straight to 2 forwards, turn 2.
Yeah, and they're going to get a party attack triggers. Yuri being choosing 1 forward or 4 or more and breaking it.
What is the Chalinka there? Let's find out.
So nice little 2-card combo, and if she forms a party, any damage dealt becomes 0. So we'll see. Bound to see plenty of party shenanigans coming in.
So seeing as though my surname is Fish, I do not like that everyone is not playing a blue goo. I think that's like my spirit card.
I think the card is good as well. Being able to cancel an auto ability, especially in this vacuum, is excellent. So nice curving from Taylor here. He's got 3 colours online, so I assume he's only playing the 3 colours. He may be playing more, but he's got access to all 3 of them now in his backline. In fact, we know he's playing more colours because he's playing Lightning as well.
Those Sephiroths that you'll never see again.
Yeah. So
I mean, you can dig as much as you feel like you can.
So Clammer's drawn couple of the Turks.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's drawn Reno or Rude, but if he's drawn...
Well, he's not going to bother going with the pie. No point.
Well, no point. There's no extra effects other than getting the activate effects, but as it stands, not much to be gained. I assume that means the cards he's got are both Rude, which is what it looks like. Had it been Reno, we may well have seen that come down. So we're seeing 4 paid for the Reeve. Nice from Cloutman, getting access to his 3rd colour. Having a look at what we got on top, looks like a few backups. I think he's kept... I didn't quite see what he kept there. He flipped over quite quickly. It may have been a ninja backup. I'm not 100% sure.
First times on stream, they're not even going to let us look at their
No,
cards.
they're not. Maybe they're just worried that we know we're going to pick them apart.
Yeah, and they can't even fight back.
Absolutely not.
So.
Okay, so another Loperate. So Taylor taking it nice and slow.
Yeah, a lot of water backups here.
I assume he's doing this in efforts to try and dig for a response for this Yuri Chalinka. Because he doesn't want to play it and then something get nuked. And there's the response. So Palom coming down.
And no, he ain't digging for a response, he's just digging for Sephiroths. He knows they're all there and he wants
them. You're going to have to dig a whole
way.
way.
It's like trying to dig to China.
Okay, and he's getting so nice. So using the crystal on the Palom to get the kill on the Yuri, and then replacing that crystal straight away by playing Kieran down. This card was a bit of a sleeper hit. Really liked using this card on Saturday. When it enters the field and when it attacks, gain a crystal, but you can pay a crystal to buff it by 2k. So a good way of using these crystals. So Cloutman free warping the mist.
What a turn though as well. In one turn, we saw Clouters lose a forward, and Taylor paying his 2, and
So looks like Cloutman does have a Ramu in hand, which he's going to be casting. So this will kill the Palom, and I think dull the Kieran. So he's trying to be uber aggressive, get some points of damage in, putting Taylor half dead. No, oh yes, EX burst, draw 2, discard 1.
You gotta think that obviously Cisne is still available to him as well. So
yeah, and it's got the 1 counter on it.
I think that's what he's indicating there.
He's just reminding Taylor that is the case. Cecil coming down, paying 5 CP for it, so not paying the reduced cost.
I so want Cecil in full art. It's a beautiful card.
Yeah, what stunning artwork.
And let's get it on screen so everyone can bask in its glory.
So I wonder if Taylor pulled any of their hero Cecil, the water one that is a paladin.
Yeah,
so before we go to attacks...
So Cisne is out now.
So Cisne's used its one only counter to dull and freeze the Kieran. I think that's smart because the Kieran is going to be gaining value with crystals. And it means that if Taylor does have the other Cecil, you don't want him stockpiling crystals because that hero Cecil does use them. Interesting, so it looks like Cloutman's got the number 128. This is the wind hero that if you can deal it damage, when it attacks can do 7k to the board. Ironically, he's now lost his ability to deal damage in losing that Ramu. I think we're going to see Rude come down for 3 CP because they have to pay the backups. When it enters, Dull and Freezer forward, Cecil moving out the way.
Seems like the logical choice there, doesn't it?
So Chalinka coming in. Okay, so I think this is Taylor showing us that he hasn't got the other Cecil, because if he did, you could have gobbled up Cecil in there to put down the water Cecil as a blocker and get rid of that Chalinka. So very aggressive from Cloutman.
It's search from deck though on Cecil, right? Maybe he's got it in hand.
Yeah, maybe
that's the issue.
We haven't seen it in Break Zone yet. You've got to be pretty lucky to draw that legend and that hero in the same pre-release kit. Although I did see people do that on Saturday.
Yeah.
So what answers have we got here from Taylor? We are dead on board unless we can answer these 2 forwards in some way. So mirror. So flip the top 4 or 5. Okay, he's hit on the first card. Oh, lovely. So hit the Behemoth.
And he's hit again, right?
And the Gigas. But the Behemoth is a nice hit because the Behemoth can come down and deal 7k and kill that Chalinka. So having a think which one he takes, I think you take the Behemoth here because you can kill the Chalinka. It means you're not quite dead on board.
Not even sure what the Gigas does.
So the Gigas, when it enters the field, your opponent choose a forward. It cannot attack or block. Bit of a weird wording because I don't know how many ways you can play it onto the field on your opponent's turn to stop the cannot attack. But the cannot block could be relevant.
Well, it's until end of opponent's turn, so that would stop the attack anyway.
Yeah. So coming down.
Yeah, there's the Behemoth. That's
So no lightning backup, so having to discard the Alisei from hand to pay for it. But it means we're no longer dead on board unless Cloutman can draw some haste and find a way to deal with this mirror. Let's get this Rude up a second. I know that when it enters the field, it dulls and freezes.
I don't think it's got the attack trigger. This is why
it would be busted. I think the only one that has the attack trigger is the Rufus, which is a very good card.
I think this is why, if you're building a Turks deck, you stick with the Lightning Rude, dull on when you enter combat. I think it's too strong not to.
I think my issue with that Rude is that the window for playing it for free off the Reno is off kilter, because it gets played for free from deck during your attack phase, so it misses the start of attack trigger.
I don't think it's too much for a problem, though. You're still getting a free forward out of it.
Okay, so Cloutman's got a nice draw in that he's hit the Wicked Mask. This is the back attack monster that can redirect a summon.
I don't know if we're going to see any value in that.
Staring down a lot of forwards. So Carillion Drake coming in. I think this is going to get a... Yeah, so doing the miss trigger, having a look at the top, leaving out the Carillion Drake is going to come in. Trying to keep probably this Kieran frozen.
Take a deep breath, Jacko.
Yeah, getting too excited.
Hiccups.
Ice cards. I was like, oh my god, ice cards.
People are playing ice.
Suddenly got frozen.
Squirrel.
As I take a big sip of my water. Okay, here's the number 128. So this is the card I was saying about. If Cloutman can find a way to deal this some damage, it can do a 0 CP 7k board wipe, which as it stands would kill the mirror and the Fremelda. The Kieran would be able to save itself with only 3 cards in hand. I don't know if he's got a way of dealing it 4k. I think he's getting ready to pass.
I mean, I suppose you just take a block with it. Well, no, if he takes all the damage, it dies, right? So
yeah. So he is passing turn. So maybe he's hoping to do a block on a small piddly thing.
Yeah, but I doubt you're going to run mirror into that, right? Although it is Taylor, who knows?
Yeah.
Love you, Taylor.
Do you know what would be really nice here is if he draws if Taylor's drawn a damage-based summon, if Cloutman can Wicked Mask to redirect it onto number 128.
But we're seeing a Garland instead.
The Garland is going to come down and is going to deal 10k and kill the number 128. So nipping that combo in the bud. So Cecil coming in, first point of damage for Taylor, no EX burst. So he's going to go in again on the Fremelda. I believe this Fremelda has an on-attack trigger.
It's the first time we've seen it tonight.
Draw and discard, I believe, which is what he's chosen to do. So he's drawn and he's got rid of an Alice, and when it does, it chooses one forward, which in turn it loses 3k power and Fremelda gains 3k power. So Fremelda becomes a 10k, reduce the Rude down to a 5k. So Taylor not getting too ahead of himself. Doesn't need the mirror. Wouldn't have been big enough to attack him.
No, and I think, to be honest now, like, it's completely, damage-wise, it's still obviously in Cloutman's favour, but the board presence is completely swung in Taylor's favour here.
Absolutely. With the lack of a board wipe from Cloutman, having seen it just go into the break zone in that number 128.
Oh, there's his full art Shinryu.
There's the full art legend. We were talking about people.
Has he got a second? I doubt it.
I very much doubt it. In this
So his other this could have been another board wipe, really. But
so he's paid 2 for it. Let's see what he gets. I know he's got a Rufus, I believe. So I wonder if he's going to grab the Rufus to try and kill that. Oh well, dull and freeze that mirror maybe, and then try and see if he can siphon in these last points of damage. He hasn't got haste as it stands.
It's such a card. Is there any summons that might help him here?
A Mateus, if he's got that, would be really nice.
Yeah.
Freezing all of Taylor's forwards. Doesn't deal with the problem that is this Garland that is currently sat in the way. I think either way, paying 2 CP for a 9k Brave feels good. Being reduced by 3 because Taylor having more than 3 forwards.
You've got to think that Taylor's got an answer, right? Unless Cloutman gets a full on-board presence, he's in real trouble.
Well, it depends if Cloutman can find a way to win the game now. Okay, so he's going to get the Rufus. So Rufus coming down. He'll be able to play it. He can get the Dull Freeze, I guess, on the Garland. The Rude will be able to put Taylor to 5 if he chooses not to block with the Mirror.
I think it's done its job though now, right?
Absolutely. It looks like he's got Genesis as one of the cards in hand. So I think, can Genesis Dull Freeze?
There's only one way to
So
find out.
I think we would need, I don't know if we can afford to play Genesis and Rufus as it stands. So he could freeze 2 characters, so which I think is maybe what he's going to do. So okay, so he did have the CP to be able to play both, so I think this is good. So Genesis comes down, it freezes the Kieran and the Cecil.
I mean, do you not maybe take out the Sword Saint though? That's stopping a block effectively.
Well, I think, yeah, okay, maybe get rid of the Sword Saint, but the Sword Saint has to attack to do its trigger. And then I think you actually, because the Formelda's on attack trigger, I think you freeze the Cecil instead, because at the moment Taylor has 2 9k bodies. Rufus can only deal with one of those 2 9k bodies next turn.
I think if you could probably chump block with the Cymru to take out one of them.
But I don't think Taylor attacks with him.
No?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, this is true, I suppose.
I mean, he may attack with the Garland because it has Brave, in which case, yeah, you chump block with the Shinryu. So Cloutman, he's put himself very much in with a shot of winning on his next turn, depending on what Taylor can answer this board with. Looks like Taylor has got an removal body on Palom. That could come down and kill this Rude. That would be really nice. So first off, we're going to see 4 CP. So Xenos coming down.
This is like, again, another MVP.
Killing the Rude. Like. And then he's going to, I assume he's going to make him discard. It makes sense. You surely got to make him discard as the second effect. You know that last card is Rufus. You don't want to see that card hitting the field. Because you don't threaten lethal this turn with 2 9k blockers. So I think getting the discard is the right thing. Which is what? I think he's just asking how many cards he's got left in hand.
Come on now, Taylor. Make the right decision here.
Let's see what he just decides to do. Taylor gets left with 3 cards in hand and a backup to play with.
If we had more viewers, I would definitely be calling 3-1 odds that he picks Haste.
I'll take those odds. I believe in my boy. I believe in my boy Taylor. Do the discard. It's the right thing to do.
We're on the edge of our seats here, Taylor. Anytime.
The fact that we're moving, which makes me think he has gone for Haste.
Yeah. I'm winning those 3-1 odds, buddy.
Fine.
Hedgehog pie, right?
To go for Hedgehog pie instead. Okay. Choosing not to discard to play another Hedgehog pie makes me think he hasn't got any more in his deck. So,
I mean, to be honest, right, he could still, if he's given haste to the Xenos, attack in, let it crash, if, obviously...
but if you can't, you just take the damage.
Yeah, I know, but, again, if he does, Xenos is the one you want to crash, right? So you attack with that towards the end, and then replay it, if you've got
so it looks like Cloutman's getting ready to use Aquilian Drake to dull the Cecil, so it's got a tap and break effect to dull the Cecil.
So he's going to put in the break zone. Does he have the hero?
Interesting. Ooh. I mean, the fact that he's picked his deco implies he does have the hero.
Or he's just looking for shit.
He's got a foil one. So I'm surprised we didn't see this earlier in response to the Chelinko attack, but that's fine. This is really nice, being able to then say that this Cecil cannot be chosen by opponents' abilities and buff it is excellent at this point in the game, because if he tries to get rid of it with the Rufus, he can just stop it and he can buff things out of range. Okay, so we're going to have a look with the mist, and then the mist is going to enter,
and he gets the draw.
And he's going to get the draw.
Mist again, seeing some decent plays here.
We've got the Rufus in hand, so I assume this will come down. The question is, what do you kill with the Rufus? Because the Cecil can now double buff himself to 10k, so I mean, your Genesis and your Shinryu no longer trade.
Maybe the Kieran or the Formelda, just so there's no attack triggers, or elsewhere spending those crystals. Something big off the board, you got to think is the right way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel if you're Cloutman, if you're not winning this turn, I think you're going to be in a very tricky situation because Taylor's going to have 5 backups to play with, and he can start doing shenanigans such as Hedgehog Pie to ping things and finish off with Behemoth. So Rufus is going to come down. What are we going to decide to do? So Taylor has 1 card in hand, so he could go for the discard, or we could go for the Dull Freeze. It may well be play the Rude from Break Zone.
I think you go with the Dull Freeze, right?
No.
Oh, right.
You don't go with the Dull Freeze. I'll tell you why. Because
yeah.
you can actually no. The Rude you have to play with backups. I was going to say you get the Rude because the Rude Dull freezes when it enters anyway. So you get the Rude and play it, but you have to use your backups to play for the Rude. So I think if we were able to play for Rufus from hand, Rufus into Rude, play Rude, you get the same Dull Freeze effect, but with an extra forward. But I assume we didn't have the ICP to do that, so just going for the Dull Freeze on the Xenos.
To be honest,
punishing Taylor for not doing the discard effect on the Xenos.
The Cecil though is going to be a
the
tricky
Cecil
one to
body's
get past.
Cloutman.
Yeah, right. Want to see a mystery?
What does the Dragoon do?
I think it provides like 1k or something.
Is there a world in which the Dragoon can finish the Cecil off if you stack? Oh no, it gives first strike, which is going to be irrelevant because if you double buffs the Cecil, it will be 10k.
Blech.
I think if you're Taylor, you double buff the Cecil now because you'll get a crystal back. Okay, so electing to throw, I guess you throw the Golem under the bus. If he attacks with Shinryu, you can then double up the Cecil and the Shinryu. Knowing you'll get at least 1 crystal back, hopefully with the Kieran attacking next turn.
I think if you're Cloutman, you maybe just sit as is. Like you can't threaten lethal, and if you attack, you probably are lethal yourself. Yeah,
the issue is that Rufus will die next turn because Fremelda will attack. It will reduce Rufus's power by 3,000, and Hedgehog Pie can finish it off.
Oh yeah. Hedgehog Pie is cool, man.
Yeah, excellent card. This is definitely stronger than the Goblins.
Well, looks like asking some advice over there, rules wise. Something about warp, I believe.
So whatever they were asking. Just getting some clarification on the warp mechanic there. I think maybe just wondering to. I think he was asking about summoning sickness or something. Not too sure, but either way, we've had a passive turn. Taylor, what have you got in hand?
Show us what you've got.
Show what you got. Oh. We knew we had the Palom coming down doing an 8k, killing that Rufus, and you can now do the Fremelda Hedgehog Pie
to the Shinryu. Right?
Well, I don't think it's enough. Oh,
no.
Knocked this.
Ooh, yeah.
Bang!
First time we've seen this on the stream tonight.
Sticky card that's going to be hard for Cloutman to deal with. So you can attack with the Fremelda, reduce the problem with, I believe the Fremelda was a 3k reduction. Mm-hmm. So Hedgehog Pie would just be out of range on the Fremelda.
Yeah.
But I think if you attack with Kieran, I guess gain a crystal. And then, so he's at 3 crystals because he gains 1 off Cecil because Palom entered the field, so when a Cat 4 enters.
You're not going to jump in front of that buffing
choosing to take damage, hits a Nono. This is going to activate all his characters. Don't know how useful this is going to be getting his backups up. It might be relevant if he had missed Mask, Wicked Mask, but...
so there's the Fremelda.
So there's Ronaldo coming in, getting the draw and discard and doing the 3k buff. Let's see what does the 3k reduction. I assume he does it on the Shinryu here. Mm-hmm. There's a world in which I guess he could do it to kill the mist, but you could just, if you wanted to kill the mist, you could just kill it with the Hedgehog Pie.
Yeah, exactly that,
So no help on the X-Burst from Cloutman there. Hitting Assassin.
Again, another really close game though.
Yeah, Taylor...
It looks like he's got it under control though, right?
You can't win this turn. Because you only have 2 attackers left, Cecil and Mirror, and he does have 2 blockers. So I think you just pass turn knowing you have 4 blockers. Very hard for Cloutman to deal with 4 blockers, especially as this Noctis will leave the field and then come straight back and deliver a 2k buff to a different forward when it re-enters.
See, I'm not sure. I still think I probably would have threatened. I suppose you could be threatened with lethal with all the Dalton frees that Cloutman's got. Actually, yeah. So if you're not winning, you've got to be really careful here, right?
So Cloutman has drawn removal. The next card was an EX burst removal card as well. It was the Edward that when it enters, you can, if your opponent has 2 delve forwards, choose one, break one. So 3 CP Melfi's Searching Sonon. This is the Earth Sonon. No other access to Earth CP as it stands. Incredibly tight game here. This has been really to and fro.
Does he have the Earth CP in hand? He does, right?
I don't know if he's got Sonon. He's got Reno as one of his cards. Sonon, and I can't see the card in between the two.
I mean, you gotta feel like he just needs bodies. Let the bodies hit the floor. Come on.
Okay. I think you definitely feel like you're in the stronger position if you're Taylor. I'd be very surprised if Cloutman can find an answer for 4 forwards.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to go for the Edward, he's going to get the break, he's going to kill the Kieran now. I think this is smart. I think either the Kieran or the Fremilda are good targets here. You definitely don't target the Xenos because it gives Taylor the window to play it again.
I mean, does it really matter though? Like, Hedgehog Pie is going to take out Mist being one of those blockers. So you've got to think you're one less than you actually are.
It's too slow as well. Playing a backup at this point in the game, yes, I know you're getting a kill. Yeah. It feels too slow. But I don't know if Cloutman had any better options.
No, I don't think he would have.
He's passed turn as a result.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been able to play the Sonon. I think that was the issue for him.
So I think we will see the end of the game here if Taylor can, because he's got Hill Gigas, so he can play. So Sephiroth come down.
He finally digs for a Sephiroth.
Well, he shuffled earlier, and there's the handshake. Yeah, concede. Great game, to and fro.
Yeah.
Cloutman putting in a lot of early pressure, but Taylor getting to stabilise with the assistance of that Cecil Xenos.
There was once a mighty philosopher that said, "Finish him," and that is exactly what Taylor did.
Finish him.
Yeah.